everyone, and welcome to the video tutorials for SmartEnOcean Gateway. In this tutorial, we'll learn how to configure EnOcean device events to generate a TRIRIGA work order. For this, we'll follow a story of a server room where pressing a button on the rocker switch will trigger a rule in RTI and in turn will generate a TRIRIGA work order. For the purpose of this tutorial, we'll use the SmartEnOcean Gateway kit shown on the screen. We assume you have already set up the gateway. If not, then you can follow the quick start guide supplied in the starter kit package to set up the gateway. So let's start. First, we'll need to learn in the rocker switch for that, and we need to log into the web interface of SmartEnOcean Gateway. This requires the IP address of the gateway, and I'll leave it to you how to find the IP address of your gateway. I already have the IP address and I log in with the default password, which is admin. We see the dashboard of the gateway now. We directly jump to the EnOcean menu on the left hand side of the screen. We see there are no devices here. So I'll click on the new device. This starts the learning countdown and I press the button on the rocker switch. And here's the telegram of our rocker switch. We'll make some modification, add a friendly name to the rocker switch. Switch underscore lamp1 is the name that I have given. Click OK, and this configures the device with the gateway. I can see it in the devices section. The next thing would be to connect this gateway to the WatsonIoTPlatform. For that, we need to go to the IoT page. Here we see there are several user inputs that are needed. For these, we need to go to the IoTPlatform dashboard and create a new gateway device. That's the screen where you will create a new gateway device. But for that, you need a Bluemix account. You need to log in to the Bluemix using that account. You need to create an instance of the IoT service, and you need to then go to the devices page and you'll come to this. We'll click on add device. The first thing we need to do is create a new device type, which will be a gateway type for us. We'll provide a name EnOcean. We press next, and then create. So this creates the gateway type for us. We'll proceed with the creation of the device. I'll press next. I'll provide a gateway ID. I'll say next. I will provide a authentication token. 1, 2, 3. It's very simple. And say add. So we have the credentials of our gateway device here. We'll use these credentials on the IoTPlatform page of the SmartEnOcean Gateway and to connect it to the WatsonIoTPlatform. I'll copy the information from here one by one. I'll go to the IoTPlatform page on my EnOcean Gateway. I will turn it on. This enables my input boxes. Okay, unfortunately we have everything already feeded here because of the cache, so I'll just leave it as it is. This is the same information that we got out of the dashboard of the IoTPlatform. To go back, I will just type in the authentication token and then click save and apply. We'll see some state messages. It's waiting for network. Successfully connected and ready to send events. So this completes our configuration of this gateway to send events to the WatsonIoTPlatform. You can also follow a recipe to perform all these steps. This is the recipe which allows you to integrate a SmartEnOcean Gateway with IBM WatsonIoTPlatform. So the next thing is we need to configure RTI to receive events from this rocker switch, create a rule, create an action to generate a TRIRIGA work order. So we'll again go back to our IoTPlatform dashboard, and from there we need to log into the real-time insights dashboard. For that, you need to create an instance of the RTI service. And once you have that instance of RTI service, you can log into the RTI dashboard. Here we have it open automatically um, already for you. So we'll just log into the RTI dashboard. It's taking some time. Yep, here we are in the RTI dashboard. So we have a data source already created. I will go and remove this data source so that we can see how we can add a new data source. We'll add a new data source. For this, we'll need some more information. One is the need now the data source, the organization ID. We already have the organization ID, and the other things you will need is the API key and the authentication token. So to get the API key, we again go back to our dashboard of IoT platform. We go to the access menu on the dashboard. We'll go to the API keys, and this is the place where we can generate a new API key. We already have an API key generated for you, so we'll use that in the interest of time. So I will copy the data from already stored location. I will provide a new data source. I will copy the organization ID. Sorry. I'll copy the API key and the authentication token and click save. So this creates my data source. The next step would be to create the schemas. So we'll go to setup and manage schemas. We have few schemas created here. We don't need that. We'll just okay. Let's ignore them. We'll create add a new message schema. We'll link our data source here. We select the device type. For us, the device type is F60201. If I go back to the IoT platform dashboard, I can see my device is registered there. So this is our device that we have just registered. That's called switch underscore lamp1. We'll go back to the RTI dashboard and say OK. The next thing we need is the data points. For that, we need our device to send some events. So with the rocker switch, it is generally easy. By pressing the button on the rocker switch, it will send some of the events related to the button press, and we can get that details here. But we'll follow a more generic approach. So we will choose add from connected device, and to generate this data point, we'll go back to our EnOcean Gateway on the same IoT platform page, and we will press this button sync with cloud. This sends all the events related to this rocker switch to our IoT platform, and in turn we'll receive these details on the RTI dashboard. So we are successfully connected, ready to send events, and here we are. Everything that we need from this button. So we'll simply select everything and say OK, and that completes the configuration of our schema. Oh, sorry, need to provide a name for the schema. We provide a name called switch underscore schema, and we say OK. So we have our switch underscore schema created. We have one data source is connected to it. The next would be to set up a role, And this is where the RTI analytics come into picture. We'll create a new rule. We'll give it a name. Server room task, and we select the schema for this role. We select switch schema we created earlier. We say next, and this is where we will create a new condition and a new action that will trigger the TRIRIGA work order. So to create a new condition, I click on the new condition box, select the data point, go to my data point list, I'll expand my data point. For this particular tutorial, let's assume we want to generate a TRIRIGA work task on press of a button D0. So we select the value part of this data point and we compare it with a value that we will receive, which is pressed. We say okay, we have our condition there. We'll create a new action. We see there are multiple actions already created here, but we'll create a new action by saying add action. In that we will select web action hook. We'll provide a new name. For the rule part, we'll go back to our stored information and we'll copy some details from there. This is the URL of the TRIRIGA VM or wherever you have hosted the TRIRIGA application. And configuring TRIRIGA or installing TRIRIGA is beyond the scope of this tutorial, so we assume that you already have that TRIRIGA handy with you. We change the method as post. We provide the username. System is what we have. We choose the content type, which is the application and JSON, and we use a customized message body. We delete what we already have. We go back and we select the message body that we want to send to the TRIRIGA application. We go down and we say okay. This saves our new action. The action was created. So this is our action, server room. We selected the action. Oh, sorry, click the wrong button. Press OK and we click save. So we have our new rule here. We'll activate the rule. Server room task, it's processing. Taking quite some time. Oh, done. So our new rule is activated. Now the only work left with us is to press the button on the rocker switch, and we have to press the button D0, and this will trigger a TRIRIGA work order on the TRIRIGA dashboard. For that, we'll first go to the TRIRIGA work dashboard, and here we are. We will provide a name of the work order. So for the task name, we'll use what we have already provided. So we have given server room permit is the name, the title and the description. So we'll simply use server room as the name to search for. But before that, we press the button on the rocker switch. We will also use this dashboard to see whether our event has come or not. And here is our event. So we got a button press event on RTI. Hopefully this would have triggered the TRIRIGA work order. Let's go back and search in the TRIRIGA dashboard. We'll say server room and then press. And here it is. We have a task created in TRIRIGA server room permit. It's in draft. It's a planned start date and everything what we provided here is available. I'll think on this task to see the details of this task. Quite slow. We'll not wait for this. We have seen that how we created a TRIRIGA work order using the device events from a rocker switch device of EnOcean, and we use the SmartEnOceanGateway to connect this device, the EnOcean device, to our WatsonIoT platform. This completes our configuration and this completes the tutorial. Thank you very much for watching this video.